Oh my gosh, have I missed Sunday night Zooms? Just giving it a minute for everybody to jump on. Hello everybody. Oh my gosh, have I missed you all and Sunday night Zooms? I feel like I've had withdrawal symptoms. Has anybody else felt like that with no Zooms? Marissa's nodding. Yes. So, for you guys that might be watching the recording, my name is Danny Wells and I am a Executive Regional Vice President with Arbonne International, and this is our weekly team training. So this is our basic team training. So we have had no Zooms for 2 weeks because of Christmas and New Year, and then the week before that I was in Australia. But I did hear the recording of the training, which was about DM Day that Sarah and Catherine did, which was fantastic. So we were supposed to have training tonight by Tracy Cropper on vision boards, but she's not able to do the training tonight. So I thought what we would do on this call is kind of just bounce some ideas around, maybe do a bit of a Q&A, talk a little bit about like goals, anything that's maybe preventing us from moving forward, anything just to give ourselves a bit of a reboot, a bit of a refresh. And then if you want to talk about vision boards, I can do that as well, because we did actually do a vision board training at one of our local Melton and Oakham Blaze sessions, which was really useful to sort of get from our mind onto paper what we wanted for the year. So what I will do first is just go through, if anybody wants to have a chat about anything or share anything or ask any questions, we'll do that first, and then we can go on to doing a little bit of training. So if you can't talk, that's absolutely fine. So Maurice, are you able to talk or not? If you can't, it's fine, just say.
I'm quick.
Is my microphone working? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, it's working. So, how have things been for you in 2017, and what's going to be different for you in 2018?
2017 was a year that, what can I say? It was a year that was an eye-opener to what I could put on my skin, put in my body, how the 30 days could actually help my body, and I can't wait to start tomorrow.
Yay!
Yay! It's just been, as I said, an eye-opener, but it was slow for me. So all the excitement now of starting my Arbonne business and everything and getting more knowledge, I now feel a little bit more confident. Although, can't wait for the nutrition training in a couple of weeks' time. But my goals for 2018 would be to be more confident, definitely do more parties, because I want to be RVP by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm not that good. Got to raise my goal standard high. And
that's doable.
I know, I've seen people that have done it and I'm thinking, yeah, but I will definitely work towards that, but I've got to work on the confidence as well for the time being.
Absolutely.
And with Dee, Stacey and Chris behind me, I'll definitely get it done.
Yeah, and you know, if anybody else has a goal like that, like you can be region in a year from being an IC, but I wouldn't ever want to deceive anybody. You have to work your bum off. So it's possible, but yeah, you've got to work flipping hard to get there.
And I also want to be able to help more people, because I've found that a lot of people are they're asking questions but don't know, usually along the vegan route. I'm not yet a vegan, but I've been pointing them to directions to a place that Stacey told me about, the Bosch website. So I've seen people take an interest in various places. So I don't want to be the one that's forcing it down their throat, but I just want to send a little bit of information and try and help them that way.
Yeah, and do you know what's really interesting about that? I actually had a conversation with Stacey the other day when I was talking to her about her niche, and Stacey was saying that she's not on the call, is she? No, but she might watch the recording. She won't mind me saying this. Stacey was saying to me, you know, I really need to get my bum into gear. I'm 100% going to Jamaica, but I've got a lot of work to do before I can earn it. Like, have you got any tips and advice? And I said, you know what, I have actually. And I said, Stacey, you're really good at teaching people how to make little tweaks and little changes within their life that's better for their health, the environment, and just improving in certain ways. But you do it in such a subtle way that people only have to tweak something very slightly. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, well, for example, I said, you're really great at helping people that might not want to go vegan, but might, for example, want to change one thing that they normally eat to a vegan alternative because it's going to be better for their health, and you tell people how they can switch this for that. And then I said to her, and you teach people how to say switch their fabric softener in the washing machine for essential oil, and all these little tweaks and changes. And I think like any of us could absolutely do this. I was only saying this to Stacey because she was asking, but any of us can do this. Like if we've got ideas that people can make a change, we can say to them, hey guys, have you ever thought that when you run out of your shampoo, instead of buying the same one from the shops where you're having to replace it every week, every couple of weeks, why don't you look at buying the shampoo that I have or that I recommend, because it's going to last you so much longer, and also it's free of sodium lauryl sulfate. And did you know that sodium lauryl sulfate, and then go into a tangent about that. So I think we can, that's a really good point, Marie. So we could all do more of that in 2018. Give people, instead of ramming Arbonne down their throats, not that any of us intend to do that ever, although I'm guilty of it in the past, and even probably still now a little bit. But because we're so passionate, we can give people little ideas of one thing to change. You know, change your shampoo next time change your face wash, next time change your deodorant, and like little tweaks and changes. The deodorant's a good one to say to people, when you run out of your deodorant, consider buying the one that I do, because parabens, aluminium, blah, 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 blah. And people are like, oh, wow. So that's a good point.
And I can't think of any more immediately, but I'll let everybody else have a go.
Okay. All right. So Miranda's next on mine, but she's put in the chat that she can't talk. But do you want to give us a wave, Miranda? Oh, she's so beautiful. While she's there, Miranda has earned, well, she hasn't yet, but soon will have earned the meal for the dinner and drinks incentive. So every 3 months, we have a big, obviously we have training every month, but every 3rd month we have a big training and recognition. And beforehand, we do dinner and drinks, all paid for by your regional vice president. And to earn that dinner and drinks, you either have to promote to the next level or hit your bonus 2 out of the 3 months. So that's your district manager or above bonus, or hit your Roger Bannister 2 out of the 3 months, or do your tracker for 90 days and provide a photo of each week doing that tracker. It doesn't have to be done 100%, just so long as you're actually doing something on the tracker. And Miranda's done that for the whole of January and the start of February. So she's well on her way to earning that meal. So well done to Miranda. Huge congratulations. Okay, so next we've got Heather. Heather, did you want to share about your year? If you can't talk, that's absolutely fine.
Hi.
Hello.
I haven't really got a lot to report, to be honest. I'm just getting out there and doing little bits every day and sharing my business and the opportunity and that. So yeah, just working away.
Fabulous. Do you have any specific goals for 2018?
To at least what's the word? Oh, to promote to district manager.
Woo!
Yeah, that's my goal.
Very good. How's your social media training going, the course that you did?
Yeah, it's going all right, actually. It's going all right. I have finished it. But I'm doing another one now. So yeah, I'm constantly working on all that sort of thing as well.
Great. You need to start giving us some tips.
Yeah, I will. I'll put together a training over the next couple of weeks, and then yeah, I'll do that.
Fabulous. Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, so next we've got Hayley. Hayley, do you want to share anything about your year, how 2017 has been for you and your plans for the 2018 year coming?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Excuse my massive glasses. Yeah, I just wanted to say I think my 2017 went all right. I started airborne at the end or the middle of August. I'm finding at the moment I'm starting off trying to get more Insta stories out. So little bits and pieces of the products, because I find with links and everything, people seem to go and have a look or interested in what that is. And just kind of trying to see how I can approach people without kind of being too over the top as well. So, kind of subtly saying, this is what I use. And just kind of doing people training, really. So just learning how to obviously reach out to others in a friendly gesture as well, like you mentioned on Facebook the other day, kind of reaching out to other groups, getting to know people and seeing what they do as well. Because I've got a few people that I know with like candles and stuff, which also are eco as well, so they're not harmful, and other businesses, because I've got one of those eco egg things as well. I've had it ages.
How are you getting on with it?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's really good. You haven't got to worry about keep buying everything all the time and what it's doing to your machine and the environment. But yeah, it's really good. My views or goals for 2018 is just doing the more training, filling out my my sheet, going to more Discover Airborne. I've got a lady in Chelmsford, I think she does some. And just being a bit more consistent, really.
Fabulous. And on that, Hayley, for everybody, I think it's really a good example, that eco egg. For anybody that doesn't know, Caroline Stalker put a post on Facebook, I think about a week ago, saying that this year in 2018 she wants to be more environmentally friendly, and obviously you can't change everything, but she wanted to make some changes. So she bought a moon cup. If anybody doesn't know what one of them is, have a Google. And she bought an eco egg, which is, I'd never heard of this, to be honest. So it was basically, she put this picture on, and it was a thing, like, it looks like an egg, basically, a plastic egg, and it's got pellets in it, and you put it in the washing machine, and it's putting fabric softener and water in the washing machine. So it's much better for your clothes, it's better for your washing machine, it saves you money, it's better for the environment, like, etc, etc. And Caroline put this one post and it went viral. So everybody then was going, oh, what's that? Or I've heard about that, is it any good? Me included. And I reckon off her one post on Facebook, and she's not even selling these eco eggs, she was just talking about what she had bought. Off her one post, I reckon she's probably had about 100 people go on and buy this egg, because 10 people saw the post, bought it. Me, for example, was one of them. Then I've posted about it. 10 people have bought that, and then people have seen their post, and 10 people have bought that. And that is basically the power of network marketing. Network marketing is basically word of mouth recommendations. And if Caroline had been paid, say, 10% for every time this eco egg was bought, she'd probably have just been paid like £1,000 or something just for that recommendation. And that is what we do. And it's that simplicity that we need to get across to other people, that everybody does word of mouth recommendations regardless, but most people don't get paid for it. Caroline did get paid for that recommendation, but in Arbonne we do. So that was really, really key. And another thing I'll just mention that Hayley said then about networking with people in groups in a friendly manner, we had a conversation. Did we talk about this on a Facebook group, Hayley?
I don't think so. I think it might have been one group, but I think it was one of the airborne training groups, I think.
Okay. So basically, Hayley was talking about making friends with people in groups. And I was saying, yeah, that's like pretty much what I do. So to do Arbonne, you can do Arbonne in lots of different ways. You can do like 5 parties a week if you want, or you can go to networking events, or you can just meet people out and about, which is cold market prospecting, or you can do it online, which is what I personally prefer to do. Whatever you prefer to do is your choice, or you can mix and match. So I do a lot of online networking, and what I do is I make friends with people first. So I go into groups, because I actually enjoy making friends with people. Even before Arbonne, I enjoyed making friends with people. So it didn't change when I started Arbonne. I continued to just be in groups and make friends with people because that is my personality. So Arbonne aside, even if I didn't do Arbonne, I would still be in groups making friends with people. So when I go in, so for example, me and Hayley met through a Cyprus Brides group because we were both married in Cyprus and we had that common connection. And over the years, conversations came up about, you know, where did you get married? Like, where did you have your hen do? Like, yada, yada, yada. And we then became Facebook friends. And then the conversation then went even deeper because then you see each other's life on Facebook. And one day Hayley asked me what I did. And I said, oh, I've got my own online business. It's all health and wellness products. It's social marketing. So I'm paid to basically do word of mouth recommendations. Absolutely love it. And then it turned out then that Hayley eventually said that she wanted to try some of the products and she became a PC. And then, I don't know, a year or two down the line, she then upgraded to be a consultant. But I think if you're going to do online networking, you have to do it because you genuinely love it. You can't fake it, if that makes sense. So if I went to networking groups, I probably would be faking it because I don't like that sort of thing. So I don't do it. So only do networking online if you actually really like it. Because if you don't, it's not going to come across authentic. So however you decide to do Arbonne, do it in a way that you love. Because, you know, you've got to be authentic, basically. Because I'm sure Hayley would have known if I was just in the groups to talk about Arbonne. She probably wouldn't have bought any products off me. Okay, so next I've got Lindsay. Lindsay, are you able to chat? If not, just put it in the comments that you can't. Or I can unmute you. If not, we'll move on to the next person. No, okay, we'll come back to Lindsay if she's there. Okay, CJ, are you able to talk? If you can't, just pop it in the chat.
Hi, yeah, you're right.
Hello. Okay, the question is, how was your 2017? The highs, the lows, how was it overall? What have you learned and what are your plans for 2018?
God, that's quite a deep question. I don't know. Do you know what? The highs, the lows. The highs was obviously, you know, promoting out a region within our team. That was obviously a massive high. Another high was I really got in tune with self-development and understood why it's important as opposed to just doing it. Obviously all the events and stuff, Glasgow was amazing. Personally in my business, getting to a point where I was maintaining middle of the month towards like
my phone won't turn up and I
year.
don't know why.
Turn it off, Heather.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I was still unmuted.
Okay, I'll mute you.
That, you know, that was great as well. Some of the lows, I had a really low start at the beginning of last year, a really low start. But to be honest, I don't really think about it now. Like I don't dwell on that. Finding, you know, I've stopped working, and Arbonne is now my full-time job. So I've got lots of highs. I could talk about it. I don't think it just sums up 2017. So just in general, it's good. What was the other part of the question?
What are your plans for 2018?
Oh, well, that's a much more exciting question to answer. I have written an A4 page of goals, and they're not just like, I want to be an area manager, I want to be a region. Like, they're like big outside goals, but I've written loads of mini pat on the back goals, like things that I really want to achieve. Like I want to move my business page forward, you know, and I want to expand my reach on that, and I want to expand my Instagram, and I want to improve on all these little aspects. So the beginning part of that, I've learned how to network. I'm learning how to network in the groups that you were just talking about, and I'm actually finding that I'm doing all right at it. And I'm learning how to have conversations. And I think I was saying it to Jane Brown the other day. It is a skill. It isn't something that everybody is naturally good at, but I don't mind being on my phone and chatting to people, and I obviously love what I do. but knowing what to say and how to talk to people, that's a bit I've had to learn. And I've found actually the most natural way is for people that I don't know and just getting to know them like online. So that's what I've been doing. And so just to continue doing that and to continue my tracker, I aim for us to be region by the end of the year, which was always the goal. And I will be, without a shadow of a doubt, an area by the end of March. And I will be going to the white party. And I was just about to post my 4 pictures of the white dress to help choose which one. And I'm going to buy it and I'm going to hang it up. And I'm just going to look at it every day because I'm going, like, no matter what. Like, Carol will absolutely, she's already said she will just stand and laugh at me if I don't go.
Will you explain the white party for anybody new that doesn't know what it is?
Yeah, of course. So the white party is a party that area manager or new area managers and above go to in Vegas on the last day, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, on the last day. And you'll see there's quite an iconic picture of Caroline Stalker and Carol stood together, and they look stunning and professional, and boom. And it was that picture that I was like, I have to be at that party. I love a party. Like, they had all of the Prosecco Tower and stuff like that. Like, that screams something that I need to be at. And I can't go to Vegas for the first time and not like, oh, our tickets are booked now, the flights are booked, the hotel's booked, everything. Like, I'm actually going. I'm not even saying I'm going. I'm like actually there. And I can't be there and then be left in a hotel room while everyone goes to a party that I should be at. It's not happening. So I feel very driven with that. So yeah, so they're my goals, I suppose, for 2018.
Great, thank you, CJ. And also massive congratulations to CJ, who, like Miranda, has also completed her tracker for the whole of January, so is well on her way to earning dinner and drinks incentive. Is there anything you want to say about doing the tracker, CJ? Any advice to other people or tips?
Yeah, do you know what? So I do it again in the morning. I do mine in the morning. It takes me 90 minutes from start to finish. I give myself 90 minutes of a whole day to sit and do it. But once it's done, it's done. So my kids go to school at 7:30. So what I've been doing is getting up, doing some sort of exercise, and then sitting and doing my tracker. And I don't do anything else until it's done. And I pat myself on the back if I've done it 5 days out of 7. So with every job, you have time off. So for me, I had to work it. The reason I stopped and started with the tracker before is because I've tried to do it every single day, and then I lose touch with it because it gets to me. So I do it 5 out of 7 days, and I give myself a day off from doing it, and then I go back. And by doing that, I've just kept it really consistent. So yeah, just do it. There isn't just get it done. Really.
What I'll do is I'll just share my screen for anybody new who's watching this or the recording. The tracker, if you go into, I'll show you where the tracker is and what it is. So if you go into my Google Drive, and if you don't know how to get into that, the link for the Google Drive is in the pinned post on the Do More, Be More, Have More page. So you go into the Facebook group, Do More, Be More, Have More, and at the top, the pinned post is always at the top. You just open that, and the link to the Google Drive is in there. So this is what, oh, hang on, let me get into it. So this is what it will look like. If you go into 2018, you've got, oh, I didn't want the calendar actually. I wanted the tracker. Oh, and the tracker's not in there. Hang on, it's not in that folder. It's in Print Me. Sorry, it's in Print Me. So system tracker. So you need to print 1 off per month. As CJ said, I wouldn't encourage anybody to do it 7 days a week unless you are absolutely going like all guns blazing. Like Marie says, she's going to be region like this year. Yeah, you need to be doing this 7 days a week. But unless you're absolutely going for a huge promotion, you don't need to be doing it 7 days a week. 5 is pretty good, to be honest. So you've got each day of the month. Obviously, just scribble out whichever days you're not going to be doing it. I'll just try and zoom in. There we go, zoom. So I'm looking for the top bit here filled out. And it doesn't have to be filled out 100%, just so long as you're doing it and you're making progress. So if, say, in January, you made 1 tick in the first week, and then in the second week, you put 2 ticks, and the third week, 3 ticks. If you've got growth going on, like, that's fine with me. I'm going to definitely be including you in the meal if that's continuing for 90 days. So what's in this tracker? And CJ, when you said it takes you 90 minutes, are you talking about just the top bit?
Yeah, including my reading. Yeah, the top bit's got the chapter in. Yeah. So that's with my reading my chapter of book. That's with listening to an audio when I'm doing my makeup. So I do multitask with some of these. Yeah, so quite often listening to an audio or a training or a SoundCloud, I do that while doing something else. So that's included in my 90 minutes. It takes me a second to track my QV. Everyone knows that they can do that on an app now, don't they? So you can do that on your Office app. So if you've got that on your phone, just log in, boom, there's your QV. I'd say the one that I let slip every now and again is checking the source. Is that on the first bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. 5 minutes learning on the source. I guess that's the one out of all of them I don't always do. And the reason for that, again, is because being lazy, if you like, that requires me logging onto the actual website and then going onto the source. If that was on an app, it used to be on an app. If that was on an app, then I would do that every day. So that's out of all of them, that's the one that gets the least amount of ticks. But yeah, and what you were saying about growth, in my head, I will keep consistently 5 days, but I will up my amount. So now in December, the majority of the time I did 2. I know I need to grow if I'm going to complete area by March, and now I've upped my numbers to 3. So I had 3 new names, and I work with a 3. Also 3, and anything to do with 3 is a focus number for me, because I need 30,000 to complete over 3 months. So that's like my aim was to get my business page to 300 likes, and I'm adding 3 people. Like 3 is a number that I have to get, like, fall in love with. So I've changed all of my numbers to 3, and everything needs to be in multiples of 3. I know that's a bit weird, but it's helping me. So so I'd say if you know that you still can't do it, if you're wanting to go for promotion, but doing something 7 days a week, that's really full on. Just up the amount of what it is you're doing instead of the length that you're doing it. Be smart about it, because it's about the quality of the work you do, not the quantity of it.
Fantastic tip there. Lovely. Right, thank you, CJ.
You're welcome.
Okay, Lindsay, did you want to talk about your year? Hey there, Lindsay.
So, for the first time in 200 million years, a strange ichthyosaur.
No, I don't think we've got Lindsay. Okay, Chris, are you available? Are you free to talk?
Hiya, yes, yeah, I'm free to talk.
Tell us about your 2017. What have you learned? How's your business been? And what are your plans for 2018?
Okay, so 2017, in May, I signed up on my birthday, so it was May the 11th, so I can never forget that. So May the 11th will be 1 year. I started and went straight into DM Qual, and then after that, I found out my mum was sick. So after that, I was trying to push it, and I kept hitting a wall, and I was like, no, I need to keep doing that. I need to look after mum. I need to do that. I need to look after my family and help out here and there. So everything kind was up and down. So I was trying to focus on the work, but I was being split in so many different directions. And it wasn't until I went to the DM training in, was it December? Well, I've lost it now.
When you all went on a road trip.
Yes, yes. It wasn't until I went to that I saw, I can't even remember what her name is now. There was a lady that was talking that she said that her mum got sick as well. And she was trying to go for region and she was fighting herself. Everything, she's trying to do it and you keep failing and you keep beating yourself up saying, why can't I do it? When the focus, it was gone. It was, so I stepped back. I was just I started doing my tracker. I was doing my tracker 6 days a week. The only day I didn't do it was on Sabbath. So I was doing it 6 days a week and I've got myself into a routine where it's just easy now. So I had to step back and focus on me. I was still beating myself up a bit. Chris, you should be able to do this. And then my husband was like, Chris, you can't do everything. You can't do everything. You've got to focus, you've got to make a plan and then start again, because if you're trying to do too much, nothing will get done. So I started focusing on my Facebook and my Instagram. I actually signed up to a digital workshop. And during this digital workshop, it just opened my mind, opened my brain up to so much that is happening with Insta. Now I love Insta. Before I was like, oh, Insta's so silly. Insta's so stupid. Why do people just keep looking at the pictures of themselves and pictures of food? And I said to myself, but I want people to look at pictures of food. I want people to look at my shapes. I want people to see the lifestyle. So go for it. And it's really opened up my mind, seeing so many people and how the business works online, seeing so many people, entrepreneurs, doing their thing and following them, then they follow you, and then you start talking to people you have no idea about, and then they just send comments on your Insta stories and things like that. So I was started focusing on that, but I registered for AIT.
Woo!
And damn it, I'm going.
Yes, Jamaica.
Oh yes. So that is my plan. And we had a team dinner last week and I was like, I've registered, but I have no idea how I'm going to get QV. I don't know what I'm going to do. And Stacey was like, we'll help you. That's what we're here for. We're a team. We work together. And sat at the table, everybody gave me some orders and I got the flash buy, which is coming tomorrow.
Wow.
And that was instant QV, and then we will do likewise within our team, and it's boosting each other and helping each other and giving each other ideas and working it that way. And yeah, the support, I never had female friends before, but the support of women is absolutely amazing. And the reading, oh my goodness, I just love my books now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on the reading and what you said about women. And when I was growing up, I always used to look at people that were in a community and be jealous, but not in a bad way, just jealous. Like people that would go to church, obviously they're part of a community. People that are in the army, they're part of a community. People that would do fitness together, or people that played football, like you're part of a community. And I always used to look at that and I always used to be like, oh, I wish I could have a community, but I haven't got a skill. I don't go to church. I'm not in the army. And I've always felt a little bit lonely, if you like. And when I started Arbonne, I felt at home, like I felt like I finally fitted into something, because I think the great thing about Arbonne is you don't have to fit in to fit in. Like it's a whole bunch of misfits. You've got men, women, 18-year-olds, 80-year-olds, people like with all kinds of backgrounds, but we all come together as a unit and like love and respect one another for our differences. And so you saying that, Chris, about being friends with women, for me it was the same, but it was just being part of something. And I think that is the beauty of Arbonne. I honestly couldn't imagine my life without Arbonne. Like take away all of the money that this business brings me, I would still be here, because I don't know what would make me happy. Obviously I've got my family and stuff, and that's great, but this is about me. Like this is me and my friends and my community. I could never be without Arbonne.
I know, it's wonderful. It's just, and you get to know different people and different ways of life, and everybody pulls together and will just at the job. As I love the 24/7 group, you ask a question and then everybody just gives you answers, and there's no bickering, there's no backbiting, and that's something different that I always used to see with women. But you can tell the self-development in this company that has everybody just starts to know themselves and feels secure, and when you're secure you don't need to backbite, and I love it. And yeah.
Totally agree. So what was your favourite book of 2017?
The 4-year career.
Yes.
Yeah, oh definitely. That is going to be me. I'm on Insta, I'm seeing so many people in Maui and it's killing me. I want to go to Maui. I'm there. I'm seeing Cecilia Stoll, Georgette Smith, Stuart Armstrong, everyone's there, Fiona, everyone's there. And I'm just like, I want to be there. It is brilliant inspiration. And there's nothing wrong with inspiration and goals. It's not jealousy. Yes, that's my goal.
Yes, me as well. I am so jealous as well. I was just reading the chat then. Has anyone else read The 4-Year Career? If anybody didn't receive the book from me for a Christmas present, private message me and let me know so I can get that posted to you. Has anyone else read it? Hayley, not yet. I read that book in a day. I loved it. Will take with me. Okay. On train. It's from Hayley. Okay, right. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. So who have we got next? Let's have a look. Stacey, are you there? CJ, I started it, but I've put it down. Do we have Stacey Blackley in the house? If not, we're going to move on. Sarah, not yet. I'm reading The Universe Has Your Back at the minute. I'm a slow read along. Okay, Sarah, you're next on the Zoom. Are you available to chat? D, not yet. Reading something else. No, Sarah can't talk. Okay, who have we got next? D, nurse, are you there? We've got D.
Hiya.
Hi D, how was your 2017?
My 2017 was up and down and up and down. But yeah, it was a one. Not bad.
Talk to us about it.
Okay, so you have to excuse my eye. It's a bit scary. I've blown a blood vessel in my eye, so a little bit freaky. Yeah. So my year has been where I was doing the do, and then I decided to come away from it. And then as I decided to come away from it, I was actually missing it loads. And then just after the summer holidays last year, I decided to come back and start again. And as I decided to come back, I'm just going to start talking to people, feel the fear and do it anyway. And then spoke to Chris, and she decided to come on board, and she brought Maurice along with her, and my little team started to grow.
Woo!
And then it was just like a little momentum thing that started happening. Started getting more clients, went into DM Qual.
Yay!
Got my DM, and it's just really exciting. Things just started happening, and it was just right. It felt really right. And then kind of had a dip. My dip was that I stopped doing the do. Kind of got a bit miscomplacent with it all. Wasn't doing my follow-ups. My clients weren't ordering. And recently I lost DM. But I'm not disappointed. I'm not despondent about it. Yes, I'm disappointed. I'm not despondent because I know that I'm going to get it back. So, and that's what I'm working towards right now. My confidence is getting there. And that's with doing the personal development. Granted, I don't do reading every single day. That is on my to-do list for this year. And I have started reading. And but I do listen to audios every single day, especially when I'm working, because I get up early. When I'm going into the shower, I put it on, And I listen to it while I'm in the shower. I listen to it while I'm getting ready. I have to stop it every time the girls come in to ask me questions. But I do listen to my audios every single day. I listen to it on my way to my car. I listen to it in my car. And just as I get out of my car, I turn it off, and then I start again the following morning. So I do that every single day. Affirmations, I try to do every single day as well, but I mainly do it the mornings when I'm going to work. So self-development is key, really, because it helps with your motivation. It helps with just with your confidence as well, and it just builds your self-esteem. So what else can I say?
What are your plans for 2018?
Right, so my plans for 2018 are get back my DM.
Yeah.
Continue to talk to people about Arbonne, whether they like it or not. Be consistent. Can't wait for tomorrow to get on this 30 days. I really need it. I feel my body is really ailing. It feels really sick. I'm tired constantly. I've got no stamina whatsoever. By the time I come home from work, all I want to do is just slump on the sofa. Most times I put the dinner on, I sit on the sofa, sorry. TV's on, but I don't know what's going on because within 5 minutes I'm fast asleep. So I just want to get more. I lack lackluster. I've got no, I don't know, that oomph. I just need that. I need to be motivated. I need to exercise, eat healthily, and just feel good about myself, feel good in my body. My memory is terrible, really bad. I cannot retain anything. I read books and I don't know what I've read about. I say something to the kids and I don't remember what they've said to me, and they normally tell me. I don't always know whether what they're telling me is right, but I just say, yeah, okay, here you go, here's a £10. So yeah, but I really want to get my memory back. So what else? Other goals is financially, just get myself out of debt. I really need to do that this year. Just spend wisely, but I'm going to continue to spend it on Arbonne, definitely. What else? Just spend more time with my girls, walk the dog more, and
can I ask you a quick question, Dee, that might be helpful today? When you said in 2017 you obviously did Arbonne and then you stopped doing Arbonne, you took a step back, and then there was a period of you I'm guessing you shut your shop up completely, you weren't doing anything with your business, and then you decided that you did want to have your Arbonne business and be a part of like the Arbonne community. And when you stop doing anything, exercise, eating healthy, your business, whatever it is, it's really hard to get going again. What did you do that enabled you to get back on it again?
Right, so what I decided to do was I really missed the community part of things. So I started listening again to, getting back involved in our little group, because Stacey set up a group, because Stacey's my upline, so she's my sponsor. So we have our own little group. So I started being more active in there, listening to what was going on. I also decided to go to some parties with her. I actually attended one where you was there, and just tried to get more involved. Didn't do anything for myself personally, but it was just trying to get back into it. So like I said, I attended parties. I went to DAs as well. I attended some DAs, and that's basically what I did.
And that just sort of like got your energy back going again to get back into things.
Yeah, and I think I came as well on a Sunday evening. I did that as well. But yeah, just tried to get back into it. Probably wasn't personally doing anything for myself, as in doing parties myself or talking to people about Arbonne, but I was just attending things.
Fabulous. Well, I think that's really useful for people that are either on the call now or that are going to watch the recording, because a lot of us have ups and downs in our life with lots of different things, not just Arbonne, like parenting and anything in our life. But yeah, it's trying to get back into something that we want, and how to do that. So that's really helpful, Dee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, okay, so Stacey, are you there? Because I saw you on the chat. Oh, yes. Do you want to unmute and tell us about your year? Anything you want to share, highs, lows, and your goals for this year?
2017 was pretty bonkers. Went to my first ever Vegas, was absolutely mind-blowingly incredible. You've definitely got to be there. I cried. I missed my son's 13th birthday, so I cried for that reason. I cried when John O'Leary was telling his story as the keynote speaker. I learnt so much. I shared, made and strengthened some beautiful friendships, laughed until I cried, especially with you, Natalie and Sarah. Danny, it was just absolutely bonkers. And it was definitely a highlight, being able to go to somewhere like Vegas and not really being a drinker or a gambler, but still enjoy the whole atmosphere and just strengthening those connections. And obviously everyone was like, and party was like partying all the time, even though we were constantly learning and training. You know, we had a couple of times by the pool and stuff like that. I had so many people interested in the business just because the business had taken me to Vegas. And yes, we do pay for Vegas, but you have an incentive to earn the cost of the event back and stuff like that, which is great. And obviously we get a cheaper accommodation rate and all that sort of stuff. When I was there, I think as I came back, I then qualified for area manager, which was bloody bonkers. And previous to that, I'd gone to area qual and lost it, and it was just all a bit up and down and all a bit crazy. And then we completed area, and it was just amazing. I promoted to 2 district managers, and for me, it was more about how I helped those guys, my friends, promote to the first level in Arbonne, was just probably the most inspirational, memorable and emotional time. Like, I kind of forgot about area. It was great. Area was amazing. But there's nothing like seeing some of your best friends reaching their goals. Honestly, it's absolutely beautiful. When Dee promoted, we cried, we jumped, we screamed, we were like going crazy around the room. And then we found out that she didn't complete, and I was like, what happened? But she naturally completed the next month. Like, it'd all been absolutely bonkers, because obviously I was still learning, not knowing what on earth I was doing, obviously. And that's what I mean. If I can do this business, promote a district manager, didn't even promote, but still promote the next month, anyone can do it, right? Mindy laughs about this all the time. And what we've noticed that in our region, in our Blackley region, that there's always a story, no matter what. No matter what we do, there is a story. There is something that happens that turns this crazy Arbonne thing into the funniest. Like at our region party, there's going to be so many stories that I don't think anyone is going to stop laughing. It's just going to be literally, they're going to be on the floor. And I think being part of a community and having the friendships, and the only way I can describe it is a scaffolding that holds you up when you feel like you're falling apart, is beautiful. Is absolutely beautiful. And I do like to be a social person, and being a mum and a wife and dealing with all that sort of stuff, the kids with the illnesses and that, they're much better now, but it really took away who I was. And I've really concentrated in 2017 discovering who the real Stacey is and my strengths, and I've faced so many fears of height, fear of cutting my bloody hair off. Do you know what I mean? Something stupid like that. But it was scary for me because my long hair defined who I was back then. And attending the training at leadership, standing up, training in front of people, just not being able to, like, having a complete and utter fear of public speaking and getting up. And I was like, yeah, and everyone was like, who are you? Like, you've changed. And I'm like, I have changed, but this is the real me. I'm really discovering who I am. And I think getting that from a business is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. There's been so many ups, and there's been many downs as well. But the point is, it doesn't matter. That's the whole point of it. You can't appreciate the good times without the bad, because you wouldn't be able to differentiate between any of them. So, and I've learned to enjoy the journey, no matter where it is or where it's going or where it's taking you. We do have more control than we believe, and it's how we react and respond to those things. Goals for 2018 are to improve my follow-ups, because my new connections are phenomenal. I am like an expert at making new connections. Arizona, absolutely cannot wait for Arizona. Huh?
Woo!
Woo! Can't wait for Arizona. I need to be in Sedona, baby. And just helping other people, because obviously I do concentrate heavily on the business because I know how much it's changed me. And I think what I want to do is try and help people rather than, obviously the business too, but I have been concentrating heavily on that rather than trying to help them finding a safer product. Because I've seen the difference in myself, realizing not everybody wants to have that difference, and that's fine. And it's just about learning and trying to find out, find your way. Yes, we have steps to success, but we still need to find our own way within the business. And making it work for us around our families and stuff like that. The tracker is definitely key for me. I would do 90% of it, probably 6-7 days a week, most definitely. Follow-ups are not my strong point, as I mentioned, and I really do need to be an absolute follow-up queen. So that's my goal, that I'm going to be a follow-up expert. Spa days, that's just for me, which means I will do my DM bonus every single month is my goals. And just trying to help people that really want to be helped, to either build a business or solve some of the issues that they're having in their lives, really, just making that change for people. So, yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you for that, Stacey. I echo everything that you've just said, really. Arizona, whoa, gosh. And anyone on this call can be in Arizona as long as you go into area qual this month and complete next month. For current area managers, it's slightly different criteria, but I can talk to you about that separately if you don't already know. So yeah, Arizona. Woo! Okay, so I think we've just got time for one more person. So Suzanne, did you want to talk about your year and goals for this year? No. Okay. Becky, are you there? And then we've got the last person is Laura Shearer Hunter. If any of you guys are there? No. Okay. Right. So last few things then before we end this call. Thank you all for coming onto the call. Who mentioned the oh, Stacey did. Stacey mentioned that having our team is like scaffolding, and I really like that actually. But one thing I want to say is the scaffolding that she mentioned is always there for everybody to link into, and to you kind of like pull on everybody else's energy. So for me, every time I get off the calls on a Sunday night, I can't sleep because the energy that I've soaked up from everybody's momentum and excitement, I'm like absolutely buzzing. So you have to link in to that scaffolding. I keep using these tonight, I don't know why. You have to link into that scaffolding to gain that energy that you need, and also to grow your own wisdom and knowledge. This is a business that is a multi-million-pound business from your laptop. It's a serious business. It's not like a little like Avon thing on the side, a bit of cash back. This is a serious multi-million-pound business. So by growing your knowledge and growing your wisdom, you're going to grow yourself into a better health and wellness advisor for all of your to-be customers and clients, and also help yourself grow in knowledge and wisdom to teach other people to do what you do. And I always think every time you say sponsor a preferred client or a business builder, you get better every single time. Even if that PC or independent consultant doesn't do anything, you sponsoring them improves you and your skills. So one thing that I really want everybody to do is to link into that scaffolding. I love that analogy. I'm proper jumping on the bandwagon with that, Stacey, but I want you to link into it, because the scaffolding can't come and get you. You have to come to it. So for me, like everybody else, we have highs and lows. I have highs and lows. When I'm feeling low, which I have been doing over the Christmas period because I've been away in Australia, which was fantastic, but I haven't been plugged into the scaffolding. I haven't been plugged into the WhatsApp because of the time difference. I haven't been plugged in to the groups. I don't know what's going on half the time. But that's my fault because I haven't been plugged into it. So my energy has been really low, really deflated, overwhelmed, like literally overwhelming coming out my ears because I can't keep up with what's going on. But that's my responsibility to sort that out. You know, I can't go to Emma, who introduced me to the business, and tell her that I'm, you know, feeling a little bit frazzled. You know, it's my responsibility to sort that out. And this happens from time to time. You have your highs and you have your lows. And when you have your lows, which I guarantee will happen, they will, if you've not had a low yet with your business, it will happen and they will continue to happen. You can't avoid them. You just have to find ways to get yourself back into the high again. And how I would say that you do that is what Stacey's just said, getting plugged into that scaffolding, getting on the Sunday night Zooms, being active on them, like Dee said, being active on the WhatsApp messages, chatting to people, finding out more, listening to the questions that are being asked and absorbing the information, the answers to what those questions are. Doing the tracker. I cannot emphasize enough about doing the tracker. And if you've never ever done the tracker before and you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of it, what I would suggest that you do is print it out for February and do one thing on that tracker. Just do one thing for a few days or a week. Once you've nailed that one thing on the tracker, the following week do two. Once you've done that, after a week, few days, do 3 and gradually build it up. You know, you don't have to take these massive chunks out of things. Just do it in bite-sized chunks. And this will improve your confidence and it will improve your knowledge. Every time you do something that's on the tracker, you're going to grow. Even if you're just doing 5 minutes of learning on the source, you're going to look on that source and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Like, that's really interesting. And you'll learn something and that will stick in your mind and it will come up when you're having conversations with people. So you've got to link into that scaffolding. You've got to grow your wisdom. Like, you absolutely need to be like the owl that's full of wisdom, and you're not going to be full of wisdom by not doing anything. So you need to be doing something. The tracker's going to give you pinpoints and direction, and then you need to be doing your reading, listening to audios, going onto the source, talking to people. Talking to people is what we do. You know, if Arbonne were to pay it as a salary rather than commission, they wouldn't pay you if you weren't talking to anybody. They'd be expecting you to talk to like 5 people a day to give you that salary. So for us to get paid our paycheck, we need to be talking to people. And you might feel like you're rubbish at talking to people, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get. So please do plug in to the trainings, to Sunday night Zooms, do your tracker. Please try and attend a DA once a week. If you can't do that, once a fortnight. You know, going to DAs, you're going to learn a lot from them. If you can't go out and about to DAs, there are live DAs happening all the time. The Hello Future one has one a week, and there's ones all over the place online. We have monthly training, which is in Stamford, so that's just off the A1. We've moved it to Stamford so that it's convenient for everybody to get to onto the A1. So that's the first Monday of every month, unless it's a bank holiday. Make sure you've got a diary for 2018. If you haven't got a diary, I can see Marie says she's a star pupil. If you haven't got a diary, you're absolutely bonkers, because you're supposed to have a multi-million-pound business from your laptop in the process. So you need a diary. Print off the calendar for 2018, which can be found in the Google Drive in the folder that says 2018. Print that calendar off and get those dates in your diary for the whole year so that they're in there, and you can organise childcare, you can organise travel and get that sorted. So that's it from me. I'm going to end this call. I'm just going to tell you the code for the 9 o'clock Zoom. I'll put it in the chat as well. 337 600 0859. So it is me hosting the 9 o'clock Zoom tonight, and the training is going to be the Idiot's Guide to Doing Arbonne. So a really, really fantastic call that's going to kickstart the year. And I've been putting this together for the past 4 weeks, so I'm really looking forward to doing this finally after all the practice that I've put in. And thank you everybody for getting onto the call. I love seeing you all, and I'll see lots of you tomorrow night at Region Training in Stamford. See you all in a minute for the 9 o'clock Zoom. Bye everybody. Thanks everyone for sharing everything that you did.